Hi friends, in the last video I explained about the concept of nodal analysis, and in this video I am going to explain about the concept of mesh analysis. Clear? So before I am going to explain about the mesh analysis, so just I want to compare with the nodal analysis. What is the difference? What is the main difference between nodal analysis and mesh analysis? Clear? So actually the nodal analysis is always used to find the unknown voltages at any junction point or node point. But in case of mesh analysis, this mesh analysis is always used to find the currents flowing in the loops. Here, the meaning of mesh is loop. If we are going to talk about the loop, definitely we need to find the currents flowing in the loops only. It means nodal analysis is related to finding the unknown voltages at junction points or node points, and mesh analysis is related to finding the currents flowing in the loops. Clear? So in this video I am going to consider one problem, and with the help of that problem I am going to find the different currents or different currents which are flowing in the loops. Clear? So the number of currents which are depending upon the number of loops. For example, we have 10 loops. It means we need to find 10 different currents, because in each individual loop, so we have individual current. Clear? So now I want to consider one problem, and with the help of that problem I am going to find the different currents which are flowing in the loops. Clear? So here the main important point is, so this is mesh analysis. Clear? Here the meaning of mesh is loop. Clear? Meaning of mesh is loop. Now here, if we are talking about loop, means definitely we are going to find the values of currents only, not voltages, because in the loops current will flows, not voltage. Clear? So that means if you are talking about loop, means definitely we need to find current values only. Clear? So if you want to find the currents which are flowing in the loops, so we are going to apply mesh analysis in the circuits. Clear? Now I am going to consider one example here. This is a small problem. So here we have voltage source, and the value of voltage source is equal to, for example, I am taking 10 volts, and this one is the resistance R1, and the value of R1 I am taking 2 ohms. Just take whatever the values you want. So this is the value of R2 is equal to, again I am taking 2 ohms here, and this one is R3 is equal to 2 ohms. So all the values in the circuit are 2 ohms only. Clear? Now just see here, this is one loop and this is one loop. So here, if there is a voltage source connected like this, then definitely the direction of current is like this. So after this junction point, current will flows like this, and dividing currents from junction point like this, and current will flows like this actually. Clear? Now see here, we are talking about loop. It means we have loop 1 and the name of the current is I1, and we have loop 2 and the name of current is I2. Just observe here, why the direction of current, both the direction of currents are like this. Why not like this? Yes, just see here, voltage source is connected here. It means current is always starts from positive and flowing in the circuit and ends at negative. Clear? So that's why direction of current is, both the direction of currents is clockwise only. Clear? If suppose there is another voltage source connected here, then if the positive sign is here and negative sign is here, for example, then the direction of current will flows like this. Clear? So just see here, we have two loops. It means we need to find two currents. Clear? So in order to find these two currents, just apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in loop 1 and apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in loop 2. Then with the help of that KVL, then you will get two equations from two individual loops. Clear? So after getting the two equations from two individual loops, just simplify those two equations, you will get the values of what? I1 and I2. Clear? So here step 1, yes, step 1 is apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in loop number 1. Clear? Now as per Kirchhoff's voltage law, applied voltage V and voltage drop across resistance R1 and voltage drop across resistance R2. Just observe here, this is the R1 which is self resistance for loop 1, and this is R3, this is the self resistance for loop 2. But here R2 is the mutual resistance because this R2 is connected between loop 1 and loop 2. That's why we have to concentrate the direction of current through this particular resistance. Just see here, this current is flowing like this. It means what? Downwards. But whenever the current is flowing through this particular R2, I2 current is always upwards. It means there is a difference. It means what? I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1. Definitely these two currents are in opposite directions. Okay. So just see here. First, applied voltage. So as per KVL, so applied voltage V is equal to drop across resistance. That is what? I1 into R1 plus. So this is the mutual resistance. Mutual resistance means what? So here R2 into, yes. Now see here, we are talking about loop 1 means I1 and this is the current I2. So whenever we are going to talk about the mutual resistance, just observe the direction of currents. One is downwards and one is upwards. It means what? We are talking about I1. That's why just I1 minus I2. Right, like this. Clear? If suppose we are going to talk about the loop 2, then difference of current is always I2 minus I1. Clear? So this is the equation from loop 1. Now applied voltage how much? This is 10 is equal to I1. We don't know, but we know the value of R1. That is what? 2 plus here R2. Yes, we know the value of R2. That is 2, and here I1 minus I2. Clear? Just simplify here. Yes. Now see here. Now see. So 10 is equal to 2I1 plus again 2I1 minus 2I2. Now 2I1 that is equal to 10 is equal to 4I1 minus 2I2. Now here, so total 4I1 minus 2I2 minus 10 is equal to 0. Just assume this is equation number 1. Clear? So same like this. This is the equation from only loop 1. Now apply KVL in loop number 2. Again you will get another equation. Clear? So like this. So you will get another equation like this. After getting equation number 2, just simplify these two equations. You will get the values of what? I1 and I2. Clear? Now see here. Yes. Now see, this is the equation 1 from loop number 1. Now find the equation number 2 from loop number 2. So step number 2 is X. Again same, apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in loop number 2. Clear? In loop number 2. Now again same. So just here compared to loop 1 and loop 2, there is no voltage source in loop 2. But here there is a voltage source in loop 1. That's why there is no applied voltage here. That's why 0 is equal to, yes, 0 is equal to, start from here. So drop across resistance, that is what? I2 into R3 plus R2 is a mutual resistance. So R2 into, again here same. This current is going upwards, this current is coming downwards. It means what? There is a difference. Yes or no? So here we are talking about loop 2. That's why I2 minus I1. Clear? Now simplify here. Now simplify. So 0 is equal to, yes. So 0 is equal to total how much? I2 R3 plus R2 I2 minus R2 I1. Now you know the value of R3, R2, R2. Now substitute the values of resistances. So I2 into 2 plus R2 is also 2 into I2 minus again this is 1 also 2I1. Now see here. So 2I2 total 0 is equal to 4I2 minus 2I1. Now here, so Get the value of I1 here. So that one 2I1 is equal to 4I2. Then I1 is equal to 2 by 2. So 4 divided by 2 into I2. That is equal to I1 is equal to 2I2. Clear? So now you know the value of what? I1. I1 is equal to 2I2. Now substitute this value in equation number 1. You will get the value of what? 1 current. Clear? Now substitute the value of I1 in equation number 1. Yes. So this is the equation from loop 1 and this is the equation number 2 from loop 2. So from equation number 2, I1 is equal to 2I2. Now substitute equation number 2 in equation number 1. Now see the value of 1 current. So we are substituting 2 in 1. So 4 into, what is the value of I1? 2I2 minus 2 into I2 minus 10 is equal to 0. Now here 4 into 2, 8. 8 I2 minus 2 I2 is equal to 10. Now 8 minus 2, 6 I2 is equal to 10. Then I2 is equal to 10 by 6. So 2 3s are 2 5s are. Then 5 divided by 3 amperes. Clear? So this is the value of what? I2. Now substitute the value of I2 is equal to 5 by 3 in equation number 2. Just take or assume this is the equation number 3. Now substitute 3 in 1. Substitute equation number 3 in equation number 2. Then you will get the actual value of I1. So I1 is equal to, yes, 2 into I2 value how much? 5 divided by 3. Clear? Now here I1 is equal to 5 into 2, 10 divided by 3 amperes. Clear? So like this we are going to find the values of I1 and I2 from circuit. Clear? Thank you so much for watching and please do subscribe my channel, and if you like my videos then please share with your friends. Thank you so much.